it feels like every week the NBA is getting more and more like the kind of the Illuminati script from like years past where Golden State would just dominate or like there'd be a couple of teams at the top.
Right.
That's being shattered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm really excited. We can talk about Miami first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Their draft picks, man, and their undrafted guys showing out.
Yeah, no, Miami was the secret winner of this year's draft. They got Tyler Hero, doing great right now, doing great things on the floor. They got Kendrick Nunn, Nunn. He went undrafted. He's from Oakland University. However, right now, as a rookie, he's averaging 22.4 points a game. They only play like 5 games so far, but still, it's very good. He went undrafted. He scored 28 last night against Atlanta, and 25 in October against Minnesota. And for someone going undrafted, someone who went unnoticed, I think he's doing very well. He's a little bit older.
He's doing better than Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero is still, doing great. 16.4 points,
right.
5.8 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. But if you're undrafted, you're doing better than that guy that Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like besides Jimmy Butler, there's Tyler Hero in Miami that's
right.
drawing in coverage. You're doing better than him.
Yeah, Miami was banking on Tyler Hero when he's performing. He's a highlight machine. Don't get me wrong.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I think they really came out with a diamond in the rough with Kendrick Nunn.
I'd say like going back to what you said before. I think they're the secret underdogs that won the draft.
Yeah,
undoubtedly
they have veteran presence. Jimmy Butler probably developing them.
He didn't really do that much last night though, or the last game. But
I feel like he does a lot in practice and in the locker room.
Yeah,
that he's a lot of untangibles, stuff you can't put on a stat sheet.
Yeah, he's definitely got that killer mentality. Like he reminds me of like Kobe a little bit.
Yeah,
just a bit in the way he operates outside. Like we talked about him showing up 7 or 10 hours early or something crazy like that.
Defeated the third stringers. And actually, Joel Embiid tagged
him,
Jimmy Butler when he got into that fight with Karl Anthony Towns.
Did you see Jimmy like immediately under that commented? He was like, "Why are you dragging me into this?"
Did he really?
Don't drag me into this. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy already has his beef with the Minnesota team.
It's just like they're doing better this year, but like it doesn't seem like an organization that wants to win. To be honest,
I agree.
Like it seems like the land of just complacency.
They take people, they get rid of it. I don't think they know really what direction they're trying to go for.
I don't think they do either.
They don't have an identity really.
They're lucky they got Cat this year. Cat's been playing out of his mind. He's
been playing very well. Yeah.
Western Conference Player of the Month. But besides that, man, like who do you have? You have Josh Okogie.
Wiggins
is he got a check and he was like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to play basketball
That's
anymore.
what they say. They say Wiggins didn't even really want to be a basketball player. He just showed up to camp one day and they took him.
Is he tall? I forget.
Andrew Wiggins is a great basketball player. They just feel like if he had a better work mentality, he could be so much better.
He probably could. They were talking. He was like the Canadian Kobe, right? That's what they were calling him at first.
Yeah.
And then he
had a lot of hype coming in because he started off very well, and they expected. And it's not that he's not doing well anymore. They expected him to just keep going up. And he kind of stagnated.
Yeah.
He's kind of staying where he is right now.
It's a shame. No. Minnesota, they've been doing good. Somewhat good. I think they're not undefeated anymore, but they're like 4-1 on the season, and but I think that's also due to the fact that like the West is a weird place this year.
Oh yeah,
the West is a weird place.
It is the Wild West indeed.
It's the Wild West. That's we've trademarked that now. The Wild West, the Wild Western Conference. You got teams like the Suns, performing. You know what I'm saying? You got Clippers, obviously being dominant, but you got teams like the Thunder, who I personally, even as a fan, didn't think could pull out a victory against a blowout victory against the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Even with just Steph there, that still gives
a healthy Steph too.
Healthy Steph, which we'll get in later.
We will get into that.
It's a weird place. The East is kind of becoming more down to like the East is kind of more predictable this year.
Yeah,
I feel like
the East is predictable.
Like I feel like I always say this, but the conferences have like switched places.
Switch spots, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with the way the NBA. I think this is the start of a new era. I
Definitely.
think last season with the Raptors beating the Warriors, that showed something that the NBA is going to go in a different direction from now on, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm very happy, despite the tragic injuries we've seen so far this season, but that goes into it too. I mean, this is what we watch the NBA for. We love the drama. We love the players going at it against each other. We love the competition, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Who do you think won that fight?
Man, I mean, if they let them fight, I'd put my money on Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Joel Embiid's a big boy.
I think they were kind of just grabbing each other and, you ever see like two elephants wrestle?
Yeah, that's just kind of using their body weight to throw the other person around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Joel Embiid thinks he's like bigger than he is. He's a big man, but like,
he has a lot of confidence.
Fights, he has a lot of confidence from guys that like he fought Marcus Smart. What do you think's gonna happen when a guy like Joel Embiid, who's maybe easily a foot taller than him, like he picks on like smaller he picks on guards.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. Like he gets into fights with a lot of guards.
Well, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is a big dude.
Yeah, well, that's the first time that someone's actually, you know what I'm saying, his size.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a 50-50 toss-up.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until Ben Simmons got him into a headlock. Talk about the Celtics.
I would love to talk about the Celtics.
So Gordon Hayward, man. Yeah. Gordon Hayward, to me, seems like he's been filling in and doing great things. The Celtics, I feel like they signed him with the express intention of having him fill out the offense. Like, he's not going to give you crazy numbers. He's been giving really solid numbers.
Right.
But that's all that I feel like the Celtics need from him, right?
Yeah.
He's been dropping like 20 a game. He's that guy you stick. He's a spot-up shooter. Even if he has a quiet game like he did, I believe, versus the Knicks, he can still do things for your offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a large reason why the Celtics don't have that pacing problem anymore that they did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting to come together.
Starting to fill out.
Yeah, their main four guys, even towards the fifth and sixth man, are doing good things. Tatum 25, 2 and 4 versus the Bucks in that big comeback. Hayward, he dropped 21, 7, 10. Kemba's
starting to come up.
Averaging like 30 a game. He did 32, 6 and 6.
Good for Kemba.
So, I mean, the Celtics money, big money moves have been paying them off. Even me, a guy who thought that Jaylen Brown wasn't necessarily worth the extension. I still don't think he was worth that much money, but he's been playing really well.
Yep.
It's come together.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I think they could really give Philly a run for their money. And I agree with you. I think Gordon Hayward, I mean, he is putting numbers on the stat sheet, but it's also the intangibles, like we said earlier. He's doing really great things with the younger players. He's in the locker room and stuff, and I think he's great for the culture of the team. Yeah. And he also has a big fan base. And we can't talk about the Celtics without discussing Taco Fall.
Fall.
The crowd can't get enough of him.
It seems like he hasn't really. I mean, he's been playing well, but he hasn't been like producing that much.
No. Yeah.
Also because you got Enes Kanter in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Taco, he's young and he's not, he's very lengthy and stuff. Yeah. But the crowd cheers.
The crowd loves him.
They chant his name
at MSG too.
Yeah,
the Knicks fans were chanting, "We want Taco."
I would want to watch Taco.
I would want to watch.
It's
Taco.
So fun watching him play.
He's like a tree. He's just like he's like a redwood tree just playing basketball. Did you see when they ran a pick and roll play, and then Tatum tossed him the ball, and Taco kind of just went whop, and then just like.
Yeah,
boop,
just like
put it in the
tippy toes. Yeah,
tippy toes, put it in the net. It's ridiculous.
I love watching Taco play, even if it's watching someone play in slow motion. It's just seeing the defenders look like children around him. Yeah. And they said he was like the 21st tallest person in the world.
Something like that. He ranks pretty high, maybe top 20.
I think before they came out with before they redid all the heights of the NBA players.
Yeah, what's good with
that? We can talk about that too. He was 21. I don't know what he is now, but he's still obviously up there. I know they take at least an inch off him.
That's
after
ridiculous.
They redid the
He's
heights.
Still tall as anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. He's getting reduced minutes though. He's not getting reduced minutes, but they're just not giving him
limited
that
playing time.
I think he gets 10, 15 minutes a game.
If that
off the bench.
I mean, I think he's gonna be good once he needs to learn how to fill out his role a little bit better because he can bring something very unique to the court. But he has to play in a very specific style in order to do that. He's not very athletic. You can't just put him in a normal pick and roll. You have to you gotta just put the guy near the basket, toss him the ball every once in a while, and hope he blocks some shots.
Play a little AAU basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have him just sit down there and just abuse his length. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I agree. It's how he sticks into the little offensive system that the Celtics got going there.
Yeah.
It's to me the Celtics team. It seems like a very kind of everyone keeps their place type of
the
offense.
dirge.
The dirge coming up in the background.
I wish the Knicks didn't trade him. Honestly, I really liked it when he was on the Knicks. Like when he came to home court and he kissed the Knicks symbol.
That was nice to see.
That was a moment for me.
But now you guys got Mitchell Robinson.
I love Mitchell Robinson.
I think Mitchell Robinson's honestly upgrade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
Honestly, upgrade.
I mean, he's his second year. He's already premier shot blocker. I mean,
he had the top perimeter shot blocking stat in the league last year.
Yeah, I'd take Mitchell Robinson
Talented kid.
over a lot of elite centers.
Who would you take him over? Like all right, so I'll give you 5.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking about it in the way that he's going to grow up.
So never mind. And I was gonna actually put out some. No, never mind.
He's very good right now, but I mean, like if he's this good right now, imagine what he's going to be in 4 years, and that's what the Knicks are really thinking about right now.
I wonder how like an environment like the Knicks would kind of transfer into someone's growing. You know what I mean? Because you got to think like with a team like Golden State, where you got talent. Well, you used to have talent all around you. We'll talk about the Golden State pre this season. Yeah, we'll get there. It would probably be better for facilitating growth than a team like the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're not winning that much, you're not getting. Well, I guess you could play really good competition, but from within the organization, I mean, now you're starting to get more talented young upcoming guys, but you got to think that like, how does that stunt someone's growth? I think it'll be great. I'm interested to see how something like that would play out. You know what I mean?
I love Mitchell Robinson because I'm a Knicks fan. And I think if you ask any Knicks fan that follows the NBA, that not a passive Knicks fan, they'll tell you that Mitchell Robinson. We love him. The Knicks gave him his own show on Instagram, like his own 2-3 minute thing where he interviews other players. We love watching him. We love seeing him goof around off the court, and we love watching him play. I mean, he plays a beautiful game of basketball. He takes it all seriously, and that's something that is a little bit more rare in today's NBA. Where guys come in, get their checks, and they play ball. We have these younger guys, Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Alonzo Trier. They're coming in. They're trying to prove themselves. Dennis Smith Jr. has not been performing on the Knicks.
Well, he's been getting limited reps, and I mean, I heard the other day that people were chanting in MSG, "We want Frank Ntilikina," which is like, I don't know about that.
That's weird. I probably wouldn't chant that.
You and me both know, Nigel, that definitely
Kevin Knox Jr. been putting in minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want a guy like Frank Ntilikina over Dennis Smith. I'd take Dennis Smith over Frank Ntilikina.
Well, this season he is averaging over the 5 games that they've played, I think, 1 point per game. 0.3 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game, and that is it.
Again, but I think that has to do with the fact that he's been getting some negative. I mean, better than everyone, Nigel, that New York fans are. If you're not doing well, they're pretty vicious.
We are vicious. We have a lot of love for the ones we love, and we have a lot of hate for the ones we hate.
So I think he just like any other team, he could start to. I mean, he was doing things on the Mavericks.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason.
He did stuff last year. It's just this year we just haven't seen him do anything almost. He's averaging a point a game.
I think it's just a rough start, man. I would give the kid some time to grow. I mean,
it's his second year.
It's his second year. I mean, you got a great, solid young core around you.
Right.
I think he does things over the course of the year. Just got to put in some work over the course, in the gym, and I think he'll be all right. I think New York fans are very quick to jump.
Yeah.
On criticism.
Yeah, I agree.
Of players.
I agree.
Which I don't like.
We need to be better about that. We got a little bit off topic. I do want to just quickly mention the Bucks underperforming. Yeah. Giannis right now averaging 13 points per game. Not what we got to know last year. No, right now, sorry, he's averaging 23 points per game this season.
That's not terrible, but I feel like Giannis could do a lot better for a guy like him. Especially now that they surrounded him with more, shooting, and the head coach is giving them green lights to shoot more.
Yeah.
Pacing's a lot better. I mean, they went to first in the NBA in pacing this year. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing. I mean, they lost to the Celtics, but they were, the Celtics were down 19.5. I think that was a question of heart by the Celtics.
Yeah.
They played the Cavaliers. They blew them out, 112 to 129.
Yep. He only scored Giannis scored 14 in that game.
I mean, it's when you got a guy like Giannis, you got to
Yeah.
think that it's going to be at the forefront of the opposing coach's mind coming into the game
very
too.
True.
But not everyone can scheme him out.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of the reason why the Bucks have been so dominant the way they have been. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
I think personally, pump the brakes. They have a win over the Rockets, who have been pretty good, doing pretty well. I think you just gotta give the Bucks some time to settle in. It's the East.
Right.
The East is competitive, but it's pretty predictable, I feel like.
Yeah, of course.
If you can just kind of get into a rhythm with the rest, I think you can, and figure out what you really, what you want to center your offense around, which would be Giannis,
Right.
which would be the Lopez brothers that can give you buckets from outside the line and,
Rebounds,
and inside presence, rebounds. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, it's just been a rough start for some teams, and that's over the entire NBA.
That's gonna happen every year. What I was thinking could be what's happening. You remember last year when the Raptors just kind of learned how to play Giannis, how to stop him from scoring.
Right, they schemed
after
him
that
out.
game too, they schemed him out. And after Giannis being dominant with the same exact play style every time, I mean, the guy's got to get a jumper, or else we're just gonna know how to handle him.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's gonna happen.
You just clog the paint.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
two big men in there, run a little 2 big men set.
Yeah.
And then he's pretty much out of there. But then, like I said, this season, why I'm hopeful for this season for the Bucks. Obviously, I don't want to see them win it because I'm not really a Bucks fan.
Right.
I think they could still do something because, again, they have all that perimeter shooting around them now. They have guys that can get the ball and make things happen. Both Lopez's, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. I'm not too worried, but I
Right.
understand what you're saying. If they can, if you scheme out Giannis, I mean, Giannis is a huge part of the Bucks offense.
Yeah, he's almost 100% of the offense.
Yeah, he's a good.
He's a
I'd
good
put him,
60, 67,
yeah,
65%.
75. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough.
It's very tough.
And you have tape on him, but again, like Giannis is. I feel like he's a guy that his athleticism and his length. Even if you try to scheme him out, he's that guy that can give you still 30 buckets.
Right.
But it depends on the strength of coaching that they go up against.
And they are 500 on the season so far, going 2-2.
Well, like I said, they had some tough opponents. They had some that they could have.
Scheduling.
Scheduling has a little bit to do with it. They won against teams that they were supposed to win against.
Right.
They shouldn't have dropped it to the Celtics.
I agree.
Celtics exploded in the second half of that game. If it had gone any differently, we would have been looking at a different stat line. They lost to the Heat, but the Heat seem to be doing pretty well. Like we said with those that undrafted.
The Heat are surprising everyone.
They won against the Cavaliers. That's a game you should win. They won against the Rockets. That's a game that could have been a 50-50 toss, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'd take Rockets over Milwaukee, to be honest.
Really?
With the way Westbrook and Harden been playing?
That's true. Come
on now.
So we'll put that in the category of games you should win.
Sure.
Or games you should lose, but you won. And that seems to be like a thing in the NBA. If you look at a strength of schedule, you got to think you give 2 games that you should win and you lose, and then 2 that you should lose and you win, or however many. I think the Bucks will be all right. They're in the Eastern Conference again. It's pretty, like I said before, reliable. It's pretty black and white.
Yeah.
But again, it's about putting maybe Giannis on like load management or something. And just letting the offense around him do their thing. Because I know Brook Lopez, has been playing pretty well too. I mean, you got Giannis there, but he's been averaging like 28 points a game or something crazy like that. The
Bucks have melded together very well.
Yeah.
I like watching the teamwork. I like watching the ball movement. Yeah. And it's not just the Giannis show all the time. They do have great ball movement. I think Eric Bledsoe's kind of overlooked at the point guard position, but he does handle the offense very well. I think he paces the game very well. And I think they all just kind of put their 2 cents in and try to help Giannis.
Yeah, well, we could talk about the West with the Warriors now kind of out of the picture. Obviously, Steph on a fall versus the Spurs broke his hand. He's expected to miss
quite a few times.
Yeah, a majority of the season. Obviously, I mean, like I said before, the Warriors, whether it be intentional or not, are taking a step back in a conference where you can't really take steps back.
Right.
Everyone's taking steps forward.
Almost like they're giving up.
I don't think they make the playoffs now.
I think that's a bold statement, but I might agree with you.
I think, you got the Jazz in there. You got teams
Houston,
like the Rockets.
Lakers, Dallas.
Yeah, even the Mavericks.
Clippers, Denver.
Yeah. I don't think they make... And even like the Suns, who've been performing pretty well as well, I don't see them making the playoffs anymore. They're already in the 11th place in the conference. I mean, you can only assume now that they're going to go even further down because they don't really have a bench,
Yeah, and I want to say something, a little bit off subject, just something that's been grinding my gears. If there are anybody, like, is there anyone like in the advertisement agents like industry that's listening, I've seen advertisements where they're like, for Steph Curry to try to sell his stuff, they're like, oh, he's always been the underdog, and now this is just another setback for him, but he's going to come back and prove. I was like, when has Steph Curry ever been an underdog?
Maybe
in his entire career.
Maybe in Game 6 or Game 7 and 6, when it was just pretty much him, and he dropped 45 against the Raptors.
Last year?
Yeah, but that's about the only time. You Golden, and this goes for Golden State fans too. You guys have had it easy.
Yeah,
so I don't want to hear any complaining.
Seriously, I mean, even if we're talking about last year's finals, I mean, the injuries very tough, very unfortunate. Yeah. But you still went into the playoffs with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green.
That's a cheat code.
Seriously, it's ridiculous. I mean, they became underdogs by the end of it because of the injuries, but I can't name one year when Steph Curry was the underdog where he was supposed to lose and everything. I mean, like, obviously when he was a rookie and the team was coming up, he wasn't. They weren't very good, but you're not supposed to be good at that time. When the Warriors were supposed to be good, the Warriors exceeded expectations. There were a couple times where they underperformed and fumbled the bag a little bit. But that's going to happen to a team that's under controversy and all that kind of stuff. They're under immense pressure. I mean, but I can't name one time when Steph Curry's been an underdog.
And I remember Durant came on, I don't know if you saw Serge Ibaka's cooking show with Overtime.
No, I didn't see it.
And they were arguing. And Kevin Durant's like, we go in there. If I was there, we win Game 5. It's a whole different Game 6 and Game 7.
What playoffs?
In the last years, like, he was arguing with Serge Ibaka that if he was there, it would have been different. I 100% agree.
100%.
Without those injuries, we'd be looking at another Warriors championship, and the NBA would not be
We'd still be in
the
same position, yeah. And Patrick Beverley had to say that about that too when they got blown out by the.
He's like, you guys are on your own now.
They're like, that's it. You guys are done cheating. Yeah. I wouldn't call it cheating because I mean they did it fairly.
Legitimately, yeah.
It was very dirty, kind of the way that they did it, but they pulled it together. Their front office really performed exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Terrific coaching and everything. It was, I mean, the way they won, the way that Kevin Durant came in and won those 2 championships was a little bit underwhelming, but
Kevin Durant, man, he's just KD.
That's the man, KD.
The man, but also he grinds my gears a little bit.
He grinds the hell out of my gears.
It's just like I've never seen someone so confident and also so thin-skinned in my life.
Yeah, it's almost,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go on a cooking show and be like, we would have won that game if I was there. But then you're also like, you have a burner account on Instagram and you're responding to like 8-year-old kids.
Yeah. And Kevin Durant's the man. You give him the ball, he's going to score. But it comes down to more than that. I mean, going to Golden State pretty much tarnished his career.
Yeah.
As it almost did LeBron in the same way. Kevin Durant came in and did it in a worse way, a little bit more dirty, a little bit more backstabby, I guess, if that's a word.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean by that.
You know, and I think that put a very big blemish on his career, and he couldn't handle it. He's a great basketball player, one of the best, going to go down in history. 100%. But as a superstar, he was not able to handle the pressure.
I don't think he is.
He cracked under the pressure, which is something LeBron never did.
I also think that with a guy like Kevin Durant, you need more communication, right? Did you see the comments he made about Draymond?
Yeah.
After the fact, he said, that definitely had a big, that had a lot to do with me leaving the comments that Draymond Green said. And it's like, yeah, dude, no shit.
Right.
You should have talked to him then about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see that when he left OKC, he didn't talk to anyone. He didn't communicate.
Yeah.
He said, in fact, I think he said I was staying. Yeah. And then he just left.
Kevin Durant is kind of always in limbo. You never really know what he's going to do next.
That's just what I don't like about him, man. He's got such good talent.
Yeah.
He's a great talented guy. He's gonna be Hall of Fame first ballot easily.
Absolutely.
The shots that he makes, nobody can guard. But like, you just got to have a better off the court presence. You got to have a better off the court attitude about things. Especially in such a media geared society where everyone's coming at you.
Yeah. And you obviously you can't embarrass your teammates publicly, which is I think was really what pushed Kevin Durant. I mean, I'm sure if it was in the locker room, it'd be different. But the fact that the entire world heard what Draymond Green was saying when he was ripping him, he was like, "Oh, we won without you," which is true though.
It's a valid point.
Warriors did not need Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant knew it was a bad decision when he made the decision. All Draymond Green had to do was say it in public, and he was like, "Okay, now I'm actually gonna leave."
Yeah.
Seeing Kevin Durant associated with the Thunder was like watching Harden be associated with the Rockets. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun to see these rivalries
Every
happen.
team needs their like Derek Jeter.
Yeah, but if you switch teams every year, there is no rivalries. There is no drama that builds up. There's no anticipation. You go in, you play basketball, you lose or you win, and that's it. Basketball's deeper than that. I feel.
100%.
I feel like that's
How do you think he's gonna do in Brooklyn?
Well, I mean, obviously coming off the injury,
there?
we got his. He signed a 4-year contract.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you could opt out of those. You know what I mean? If he gets a little too
superstars
offended.
tend to stay for the whole.
Yeah, but no, I mean, not Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Who
knows?
knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Brooklyn management could be like, listen, we're gonna need you to play a little bit better, or maybe you can work on this. And Kevin Durant's be like, man, I'm out of here. Who knows?
I think it's gonna be a flop. I think just like we saw in the early 2010s when Brooklyn acquired all the old Celtics players, thinking it's gonna bring them a chip, no problem. I think they have a bad habit of just taking players who are known for doing great things, but taking them a little bit too late.
Yeah.
And then they come on and just disappoint. And of course, I have optimism, and I want to see Kevin Durant succeed. I want to see Brooklyn succeed, even though I'm a Knicks fan. I'd love to see Brooklyn play some great basketball, but I just have a feeling in my gut that it's the same thing that happened back in 2012 when they made that trade.
With Kyrie's mood swings too. I mean, to me it seems like a kind of high volatility locker room that they got going on there. Yeah. With Kyrie's mood swings, and then the management saying they were a little worried about it, and then Kyrie clapping back like, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. You clearly do. You know what I mean? That was like a passive aggressive shot at management.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have Durant coming in. Now they seem like they're getting along with each other, but who knows? Yeah. Maybe Kyrie gets a little bit frustrated with him. I mean, Kyrie's got an alpha kind of personality. He says something Kevin Durant doesn't like, and it's a Draymond Green situation all over again.
There you go, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like Kyrie's not really the type to come out in public. What
Definitely
happens behind closed doors is different, but
I'm thinking about something on like the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Durant feels like he needs the ball, and how Kyrie is, he's a more ball dominant guard.
Yeah.
That could cause some problems. That could cause some arguments. And then with a guy like Kevin Durant, he gets his feelings hurt.
He's gonna come in off the injury. He's gonna be missing shots. He's not. I mean, you can't come in off an injury like that and just start. Being in your prime. I mean, that's not how it works. Kyrie has been playing exceptionally well, though.
Oh my God, 50 points in the.
I know.
Was it the opener or the home opener?
I think it was the
home opener.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Either way,
he dropped 50.
Exceptional performance.
Josh Okogie barely locked him up. He was doing some NBA street stuff. Mm-hmm. You remember he got
for the game winner. He went down, lost it, spin move, took the shot. If he would have made that might have been my favorite game winner.
And then he hit
of all time.
He
almost.
I think he hit the game winner against the Knicks.
Yeah, well, he put the Knicks away. Yeah.
Yeah, he put the Knicks away. He hit.
It wasn't a walk off. Yeah, he hit the dagger. Which is also quite impressive.
Yeah. I mean, he's been playing well. And I think once KD gets back, he'll be playing well. But my main concern is going to be that locker room, the culture in there.
It's a shame,
especially with Nets management. I mean, if you're that concerned with his mood swings, why'd you pick him up? Like, you got to know that that's part of the package deal.
Yeah.
You think about like football with what's that guy's name? Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
Like, everyone knows what you're getting into if you sign a guy like that, where they're prone to mood swings, or with Antonio, they're prone to not accepting money, or something like that. Like, you know what you're getting with a player.
I think the biggest problem with NBA GMs nowadays, at least, is they think when they're signing a player that they're signing a stat sheet. They're signing a performance. You're signing a person. You're signing on court, off-court emotion, home problems. You're signing addictions. You're personal lives, breakups, all that stuff. That all factors into it. You can't just pick the right person for your team based on what they've done in basketball. You have to find someone that's going to bring your team together.
Right.
And is Kyrie capable of that? He needs to prove it because he hasn't yet. He has not yet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the Brooklyn Nets do, though.
Yeah,
to
me
be
too.
honest,
Me too.
They're actually 13th. Wow, they're 1-3.
Kyrie's been playing well. I'm not worried about the Brooklyn
The rest
Nets.
of the team is kind of like,
I'm pretty sure they're guaranteed to make the playoffs this year.